Welcome, my beautiful souls. I am Sandy, the Rambling Psychic, and today we are going to do a Taurus love reading. So, Taurus, this love reading is meant to meet you where you are, not to rush you, not to pressure you, but to honor the way that you love. You are not someone who gives your heart easily, and spirit sees that. So this reading is about the kind of love that doesn't disappear, that doesn't confuse you, and doesn't ask you to prove your worth. So I'm going to ask you just to take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and allow the messages to reach you. And let's go ahead and begin. So we will use Mother Mary to open up your reading, the crystal vision to go deeper, which we do. We go deep here. And the light seers will be for the main spread. And what we're doing today is what's called the Celtic Cross. But first, we're going to open up with Mother Mary. See what Mother Mary's words of wisdom for you are today. And again, this is around love. Doesn't even matter. You can maybe in a relationship, but things may not be going great, or this could certainly talk about new love. Have a feeling past life love, because that's been coming up so much. But whatever it wants to be, it will be. And we will allow it to be. So Mother Mary, for our Tauruses. Beautiful. Blessings. Blessings. Today, I count my blessings small and large, and I notice the new gifts that come to me from God. Blessings. I like that in a love reading a lot. Give Mother Mary a crystal. There we go. And so let's go ahead and do the Celtic cross. And everything is always pre-shuffled, just so you know. But I do like to give it a shuffle and a cut with you here. And I will explain to you what each position means. And we're going to start. So number one, current energy. Number two, what crosses that energy, as in, this could be something that helps or depletes, but we'll see. Number three is the subconscious. I really feel like this is the root, though, but we'll call it the subconscious mind. Number four, past lives. Actually, let me move everything over. Past lives. Or why am I saying past lives? The past, not past lives, past. The conscious mind, what you are aware of. And then your near future. And by the way, I like putting the cards down because I like the mystery of uncovering them as we go along. Next will be you, all about you. And then external influences, your hopes, your fears, and the ultimate outcome, which can be changed, by the way, if one chooses. Okay. So let me put all that aside. Oh, sorry about that. Just trying to make space for myself. All right, let's start with the current energy. Ah, beautiful. The Fool. This is beautiful, especially since we are in the year of the magician now. Year one. And this is the perfect energy for a year one. The Fool, the willingness to take a leap of faith. This is someone who, I feel like you have emotional clarity, because the past is no longer affecting present. You may use it as your wisdom now, like whether you want to take a leap on something, but I feel like this is calling for you, to have faith and the willingness to take that leap. And then let's not forget, Mother Mary was talking about blessings. So the Fool, well, cross is the Fool. Oh, so this is beneficial for you, the Chariot. First of all, card of Cancer. But I'm reading it more as the energy. The Chariot really speaks of your unlimited potential, and it's interesting because you're starting as the Fool, brand new, or fresh energy. And then the Chariot, number one, the Chariot requires balance to become this unlimited potential, and that is balance within, the light and the shadow, the masculine and the feminine. And another important factor about the Chariot, it is your intentions that tell the Chariot where to go, not the reins of the horses. It's like what I think about, I bring about. Well, if you now think of the unlimited potential that exists, it is simply not putting any restrictions on yourself. This feels very free flowing. I have to say, I'm loving it so far, especially as it relates to love. So let's see the subconscious. This could be energy like where you dream, dreams that you have had. But I do feel like it's the root. So let's see. Joy. Three of Cups. Three of Cups is about rejoicing and celebration. That means there's going to be something to be joyful about. And you know what I love about the Three of Cups? Is I feel like who I'm celebrating with are my closest people. And it's because it's something major that you're celebrating. But let me also say that this is meant to bring joy to your heart. And in a love reading, I'll take it. Okay, let's look at the past. Well, the Devil. Card of Capricorn. The Devil speaks to temptations. I have a feeling some of you felt stuck. It was an illusion, but it felt very real. That's what the Devil does. Casts these illusions that I can't move. I'm stuck. I can't change this situation. It can be energy that you were just tempted to. I think about like my younger life, and I was definitely tempted more towards, I hate to say darker energy, but let's just say energy that in the long run wasn't going to bring me much value. But I had to learn that. So I feel like this is like being attracted to the bad boy or the bad girl, but then realizing it's not really paying off for me. So again, this is your past. And hopefully, what you're doing here, especially with the full showing, is you are breaking those illusions. You're breaking those illusions. Or if anybody had said to you, like, you're stuck here, that is also not the truth. I feel like when you see the devil's energy, and I hate that Capricorn has the devil's energy, because I don't feel like Capricorn's anything like that. However, um, even just the way he's holding out his hand, like he's trying to lure me in. And I've had people like that lure me in. So I get what this is saying. And I feel like what it's saying also in your past, there probably wasn't a lot of stability. with one person or maybe a few. What you can look at, or it might serve you to look at, are like any repeat patterns in your life. Do you keep attracting like the bad boy or the bad girl? Even if they seem so charming in the beginning. And if you say yes, know that you have the power over that. Like, I get it now. I get it. All right, so with all that being said, let's go to the conscious mind. The Emperor. Interesting. Completely different. Card of Aries, first of all. But as this relates to love, the Emperor is really someone that we can look up to. This is someone who is probably a natural healer. They may do it for a living. I often feel the Emperor is a business owner, definitely a leader, leadership abilities. And in the upright, we can trust this person. This can represent for some of you someone that may be a little older. They may have children, but you may have children. I don't feel like that's an issue. If we're blending families here, I don't feel like that's an issue at all. But I like what's being represented here. We were doing a money reading. I would say you're about to build something pretty major. And I don't want to leave that off the table. I know it's love, but I also feel, I do feel that strength within you. It's like things are changing. Taurus is changing. Taurus is saying no more. I feel like you are starting to realize truly the type of energy that you attracted. And now that you know that, it's like you're putting an end to it. It's almost like a karmic loop that you're now closing. And if it is a karmic loop and you're closing it for eternity. So good for you. Now, the Emperor mirroring the Three of Cups. Wow. I mean, not only joy, in the feeling of real joy in your heart, but just how this person is being represented. Like, this is someone, number one, probably analytical, because the Emperor loves to put like plans in place, get methodical, but compassionate, empathetic. And clue is this person, let's say you were just walking down the street and someone they had groceries and the bag broke. This person would stop and help this person pick up their groceries. And that's just an example of the many things I feel like this person would do. They care about their fellow man and woman. And number 4, steady, stable. So important for you. All right, let's move into the near future. 9 of Wands. So, interesting. Even though this is your near future, I feel like many of you have already done this. This is true reflection. But this is looking back at one's life with a sense of how you have grown over the years, the wisdom that you've accumulated, the experiences you've been through and gotten over. I call this person my spirit warrior. I know where I've been. And by the way, I don't feel like it has anything about judgment. You're not judging yourself. If anything, you're giving yourself a pat on the back. Like, look how far I've grown. 9 is just reminding me of the wisdom of your experiences. But I have to say, the 9 is looking right back at the Fool, and 9 is final reflection. So the Fool's energy, like, let's go ahead and begin. Let's begin. Okay. And by the way, I'm going to do the spread and then we're going to bring in the crystal vision, because the spread goes pretty quickly, but let's look at you. 10 of Wands. But I have to tell you, I love this image, not because, I mean, it's difficult, but this is someone who, at one time lived on this mountaintop. There's nothing left. Barren, dried up, nothing left. So they're leaving it. You can see the path, right? So they've already taken the path. It's almost like the 9, this reflection, is what makes you say no more to this top, this mountaintop. You're heading towards a new mountaintop. And another thing I notice about this energy is she's only taking what she can carry. So there may be things in the material world that you may just have to be okay with letting go if you really want the freedom that follows this. This can also speak about heavy responsibility, but it may also speak about a tendency to put the responsibility of love on your shoulders. And that's not fair. You deserve equal give and take. Equal. I know the devil sitting in your past. Things have not been equal. But I feel like that's what your soul is calling for now. All right, let's look at the external. 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups. So 5 of Cups is where one is focused on the past. Really, you're focusing on the cups that have been knocked over. It can, it is a 5, and 5s do ask for change. And in the 5 of Cups, when this person says, I'm not going to focus on this anymore, this energy, it does feel difficult, but it does feel like energy where I feel like it's more, how do I say this? Like I'm feeling in the mind, like I feel I'm stuck. It's almost like I've taken on what other people have said. By the way, when I say I'm just a Taurus right now. But I do feel that, and I feel like you had to break that. You had to break that cycle. Now, the beauty of the 5 of Cups is when this person says, no more focusing on the cups that have been knocked over. Even if I'm feeling down, I'm still going to start thinking about my future and the type of person. If what you are looking for is someone who you can count on, well, that is the Emperor. Male or female, by the way. So if you're a male here, unless you like other males, this is the Empress for you. To me, it's representing the type of person. So what I was going to say is in the 5 of Cups, there's 2 cups behind this person. And to me, that represents the soulmate energy. It wasn't where I was at. Some of you, this could have been a karmic soulmate teaching you karmic lessons. But at the same breath, giving you the opportunity to clear that karma, which means clearing them also. But I feel like most of you did. Some of you may still be in that energy of change. And that may be exactly why I felt called to do this reading. It's like, okay, I'm ready for change. What do I do next? What do I do next? Well, the Fool is the answer. Let the past be the past. Extract the wisdom, and get ready to take a leap of faith. This is meant to bring joy to your heart. This is telling you that this potential relationship has unlimited potential. And even the Nine of Wands is great supporting energy here because it means that you understand your life. Not everything, but enough. I feel like this person gets the badge of courage in the Nine of Wands. And I even feel like this is you looking at the Chariot with the knowing that you really can create a better life for yourself, but you may have to take some little, I feel like baby steps, but I do feel like action. All right, let's look at your hopes and your fears. The Star. So that is your hopes. Card of Aquarius. But again, I read by the energy. So this is you wanting to manifest. This is you wanting to bring a dream into your reality. This is you having that ability, but you have to trust in that. It's like with the Chariot, putting those intentions out there are like 9/10 of the law. Like saying to your guides, I get it now. I get it. I'm willing to put this behind me. I'm willing to take this leap of faith. If it means, well, you're not doing it because of, but for some of you, that may, I shouldn't have said that because for some of you, that may be the incentive. And I feel like there's got to be better out there. So you're manifesting. And Mother Mary, again, blessings. Okay, let's look at the final outcome. Oh, hello, King of Pentacles. So that could be you. Taurus, another Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. But it doesn't have to be any of that. Just look at this person. They're relaxed. They're surrounded by books. It tells me they have a lot of wisdom. But I feel like they have more than just book smarts. They have spiritual wisdom. I feel like this white beard and his long white hair is representing wisdom. I feel like the dog, which is a beautiful dog, by the way. Like, I'd love to have that dog. And many times I've said in readings, this reminds me of my Sam, minus the long hair now, and the beard's not quite so long, but I'd love to have that dog. But this dog, to me, is this person's spirit guide, like the guardian angel energy. And look how comfortable they are with them. It's like they're one. It's like this person listens to their intuition, their spiritual team, without hesitation. And what else I notice is this big pentacle. It's like this king is waiting for the right person to hand this pentacle to. I really don't feel like it's you. Um, and I'm looking at this king. I just put him down. Oh, I know. I should move these over a little bit. And he's looking towards the future. He's not looking at the past. He's not looking into the reading. He's looking out. But relaxed, intelligent, fun to be around, though. Male or female, boy, something is telling me that I really like this person for you. I feel like where, how do I say this? Like, I feel like you're one of the most responsible signs. And that really is a blessing. It's certainly a blessing to the rest of us. But in this energy, sometimes it's hard to just let go. Because I feel like when this king arrives, and I feel like he will, there's this sense of no restriction. I don't even feel fear. Like you may feel butterflies, but I don't feel fear. I feel like this king with this pentacle is representing someone that when they fall in love with you and you with them, I feel like it's representing the rest of your lives. Also feel it's interesting how much I'm getting from this king or queen, but I feel like this pentacle that this king is holding was given to them from their guardian angel to give. Well, what I feel like is a soulmate. They're not rushing it, right? It's like they're trusting in divine timing. Maybe they're waiting for you to wish upon that star. And I feel like they are part of that star. Don't forget, this is meant to truly bring joy to your heart. I don't see issues. The only issues I see of what was, but I feel like with the Nine of Wands, you understand that now. I do feel like many of you are willing. I know you're able to be in the Fool's energy, and I definitely feel like it's going to serve you. It's interesting because I'm looking also at this nine, and it's making me think of 2025, which was a nine universal year. So, perfect energy for doing what 2025 was asking for. But now we're in the year of the magician. Now you are the alchemist. So, these dreams that you want to become your reality, oh, you can make it happen. I feel like your spiritual team is saying, but let's let this happen with as much, what do I want to say? I want to say freedom. Freedom of restriction. That's what I want to say. And just allow your soul to feel this energy. This could be past lives because there does seem to be all of a sudden like this sense of familiarity. Like, boy, your energy feels familiar to me. So, could be past lives. You're definitely soul connected, which means you've known each other for eternity. Okay, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Look at that. That's really the perfect energy, Taurus. Eight of Cups. Emotional clarity. This is you walking away from the things that didn't work out. But this is you with understanding. You don't need to know why every cup in your life has been knocked over. Some has just been free will. Some to teach. Some for you to teach. But what I'm looking for is a soulmate that you spend the rest of your life with. So this is great energy for that because this person is heading towards the Nine of Cups. And that is where you find inner harmony, emotional clarity, gives you inner harmony. And They reach the Nine of Cups. Fulfillment of wishes. Four of Wands. Some of you are leaving a connection, potentially a marriage. And by the way, this is never something I would, I don't suggest to you, you should leave a marriage. This would be something you'd already be thinking, right? Because this is you walking away from it. And I feel like the Four of Wands is a love card that I love. It's my favorite, but not in certain circumstances. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's where we make a commitment, but the other party doesn't. They may pretend, especially with the devil here, like, I'm going to charm the pants off of you. And then once I do, I'm going to be in and out, like a little snake. The serpent. Okay, let's bring in the crystal vision. And I want to know more. I know you want to know more, and I want to know more for you. So we are going to start in the current energy, which is beautiful. And let me tell you, this is beautiful energy for falling in love. It feels like, what's interesting is I did Scorpio. I'm only doing readings that at this point right now where I'm really feeling guided. Like I asked my spirit guide, I talk to my spirit guides all the time. And I asked them, like, who needs a little extra attention? And Scorpio came up first, and then you came up. But you showed in Scorpio's reading. And why I find that interesting is because I really like you and Scorpio together. Now, it doesn't have to be love, but friendship. Why? Because you're opposites. So you can each learn from each other. But I'm going to stop talking about Scorpio now because this is your reading. Though some of you may be tied to one. Well, I shouldn't say it like that because I feel like if you are going to have Scorpio in your life, then I feel like this is new. I don't feel like you're tied to a Scorpio. All right. Let's look at the Fool with the Chariot over. Well, that didn't take long. All right. Page of Wands, who you guys know I call my risk taker. What I love about the Page of Wands is I feel like every page is learning. I'm learning something. And this page is learning, well, I don't feel like they're learning to take chances. I feel like they naturally take chances. And not all of them are going to pay off. And that's what this page learns. How to get back up again. How to get back on that horse again. Again, my risk taker. And with the Fool here, this could also be their energy. Like them being ready. We have, oh my gosh. Hello, lovers. Taurus. Wow. Chemistry. It will be undeniable. So this is a card of Gemini. And the meaning of the card is a head over heart decision. But I have to tell you, I don't see you like in a decision mode. So I don't feel like it's about a head over heart decision. Though that could be part of it. I feel like at this moment, it's talking about the chemistry. That familiar energy, you're going to feel it. Skin against skin. Authentic, being authentic. Each being their authentic self and being loved for it. You will not be able to deny what you feel when this person arrives in your life, or, arrives in your life. But here's the thing. I feel like you're both being guided. So their spiritual team and your spiritual team are working in cahoots to bring the two of you together. It'll be the right place at the right time. I don't feel like you need to worry. Ah, in the Seven of Pentacles. To me, this is very much like your wheel, like destiny. This is your tree of life. And it's interesting coming out with the lovers. I have a feeling that these lovers, before they came into this lifetime, that they planned on getting together. And it would make sense if that was the plan, that each one of these souls wanted their own lessons, right? Like, I don't come here just for love. I come here to learn, to expand, to help others through my wisdom. That big pentacle that king is holding. Hello. So actually, the Seven of Pentacles has a couple different messages. The first one is patience. And I know what the patience is because this does feel predestined. So that means it has its destined time. And the Emperor, normally I think of the Emperor as someone a little older, but I should change that. Let's just say someone wiser, someone who's got life figured out. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't someone who's going to come in and take and take and take from you. They have their own money. They have their own life. They may even have children. And none of that is to stop anything. It's to give you a sense of comfort. This is not someone who's coming in like, Taurus, give me money. Taurus, give me money, because you're great at doing that. No, this is someone who wants to come in and enhance your life. And you theirs also, by the way. Predestined seeds. The king knows it. He's already holding it. And you're wishing for it. And Mother Mary, telling you blessings are on their way. Joy. Pure joy. Chemistry. Holy cow. I have a feeling the energy of the past in the devil's energy, where this person tempts people to them through false promises, through false energy. But they can be very charming. And that's usually what pulls someone in, their charm. And then it all goes to hell. Interesting, I just said that. But just what I feel. So it's like this king is ready. This king may be their guides or his or her guides may be asking them right now, just have patience. But they're very patient. And that's a good sign for you. Like if you were water, I'd be like, I don't know. But for you, I feel like it feels stable. That's what it feels like to me. But also, as I say stable, I also feel very romantic. And the King of Pentacles, very loyal. So we have someone here that we can look up to who carries natural healing abilities, who cares about their fellow man and woman, just as you do. As I say these things, I feel the same for you. This is someone who makes their own money, and probably does very well. Now, I'm not going to say like they have a full-fledged business, but if they have ideas of a business, they will create it. And it's interesting I just said that because all of a sudden I'm thinking, what does that mean that the two of you may collaborate? And I hear that's a potential. That's a potential. Wow. Love and work together. Mm. So, take a chance on me, take a chance on you. Abba. Abba. I said that weird. Abba. um, by the way, when I sing a little song, I feel like my guides put it in me, because I'm not a great singer at all, and I know that. I've had people tell me that, like, I hate when you guys sing. We sometimes you can't help it because Spirit puts it in us, but the songs I feel relate to you in some way. So could be a parent who's saying that, or it could be like just a song that you love. Okay, I am not picking that up. I'm keeping it right there for now. Wow. Okay. Um, I always say that I'm not going to clarify every card, but then I end up doing exactly that. Yet I'm looking at the devil in the past and I'm thinking, do I really need to clarify that? I feel like we already know what that means. And I know it's different things for different people, but it definitely, I feel like for the majority of you, it's just, here's another way of looking at love. There are different levels to love. And this is what I feel like part of the soul agreement was. We have to learn to love. Like, we had to go through these different levels. Like, each one was a stepping stone to the next. And each one taught us something, or we taught them. We may have just planted a seed, and that was enough. But, sometimes the hardest love teaches us the most. And one of the things I feel like we learn through these stepping stones is what we must have in love. And I don't mean like you must be blonde and have blue eyes. I mean you must be loyal. You must have morals. They must be intact. I don't want to fix. I want someone. It doesn't mean I want someone who's perfect because there is no such thing. I don't want to have to fix you. And you won't. You won't. If anything, I get this sense. It's like when they put their arms around you, first of all, I feel like as soon as I said that, I felt it. And boy, it felt like pure love. Pure love. Mm, okay. Um, so I'm not going to look at the past because I don't feel like we have to. Let's look at the Emperor. See what else we can know. What else can we know? By the way, he's also looking towards the future. The devil's looking right at me, And I just want to flip him over because he holds no value or weight any longer in this reading. He or she. Oh my God. Look at this. First thing I want you to know is it's a 4. And the Emperor's a 4. And look at this. But this is the one you were walking away from. Why? Because there wasn't a true commitment there. Again, I lured you in. Here, just that it's the 2 4s alone. Like, you want to talk about stable energy, which I feel is so important for you. Like, Taurus, I know, and most of us want this, but you want to be able to count on your person. Like, I get a sense that if in my past I had a worry every time someone, like, we weren't in communication, I didn't know what they were doing. Like that type of worry. You're not going to have that here. You're not going to have that here. Thank God. Because I feel like that's the worst energy. When you don't know if someone's being loyal. Sometimes I think it's worse than the actual knowing, because I feel like the actual knowing, if it's bad, at least it can set us free. Anyway, I don't want to go to a negative place here. Boy, for some of you, this may be the person you marry and start a family with. The Emperor is the father figure. Four of Wands, in this situation, it's definitely representing true love. And by the way, the Lover's right below it. It's also interesting that we have the 2 9s that are mirroring each other, and now we have 2 4s mirroring each other. So, reflection for both, right? I have to know where I've been to know where I'm going. And then the Lovers, it's just automatically both of you. And what I love about the 4 of Wands, especially in this image, first of all, the white horse, purity. This is someone who's putting you on a pedestal. But you will do the same for them. Look at the coloring, passion, the truth. Feels like true love, pure love. Okay. Anything else? Look at that. The 9 of Wands. So, again, here you are with the 9 of Wands. Here they are with the 9 of Wands. It's like, it's almost like a little bit of a spiritual test. Did both of these lovers truly clear the past? Now, when I say that, that doesn't mean like all the pain is gone. But you now know what you don't want. And really, I feel like you know what you do want. And it's interesting because I feel like the Emperor went through the same energy. Boy, you guys are mirroring each other. Well, that's what soulmates do. This is someone who is not bringing worry into your life. They're bringing clarity. I like this person a lot for you. Okay, let's go down to you in the 10 of Wands. And I know it's hard to see. See if I can slide these up without knocking the king off the table. Still hard to see, but All right. So let's go to you. Let's actually, it's like I don't want to pick them up. And I'm not going to pick up the Lovers and the Seven of Pentacles yet. Look at that. The Five of Wands with the Ten of Wands. Now you know why you left that mountaintop. Now we know what lived there. Drama. Ego. So much so that you could never win. But sometimes whatever you were fighting for wasn't worth winning anyway. The win was in leaving. Because this type of energy, oh, they will try to draw you into their drama. And this is the type of energy that will not back down. Like if I want an apology, they're not going to give it to me. Excuse me 1 second. Had a knock at my door. All of a sudden I'm thinking, what? Okay. So make sure it's recording. Alright, so we're at that Five of Wands. But you leaving it. Literally showing you leaving it. Nothing left. Nothing left fighting for. Nothing worth fighting for. A lot of ego. And what I really don't like about this energy is feel like, let's say someone owes you an apology. I don't feel like you get it. Why? Because I don't feel like they would want to admit that they are wrong. Ever. Well, you go right ahead and be right. And I'm going to go live my life. Okay. Just keep going. It is the 5, by the way, so change. But here you are giving it the change that it's asking for. Okay, that didn't take long. Well, hello, Ace of Wands over the 5 of Cups. So the 5 of Cups is where you were focusing on the past. 8 of Cups tells us that you finding emotional clarity, or many of you already have. And hello, passion ignited. Now, we're talking about the soulmates that sit behind this change. This tells me that you'll be able to feel it before it even arrives. Some of you are feeling it right now. I can feel you feeling it. And if that's the case, that's good. I mean, you don't have to be feeling it right now to know that it's still for you. But I feel like what your spirit team is saying is we're going to make, it's like we're going to activate your heart chakra. And that's going to be a sign. You know, and it's interesting because sometimes there can be someone in between, but their job is merely to activate that heart chakra. And that's usually for those who have not been in a relationship for a long time, you know, and probably by choice. Although as soon as I said that, I feel like I could hear some of you saying, but that's not what I chose. But still, there was no wasted time. So even if you've been alone for a little while, you know, your guide just saying it wasn't wasted time. So don't judge yourself. Try not to judge yourself because you're the only one who is. And by the way, if someone of the past is judging you, so be it. Like, whatever. All right, let's keep going. Look at the star. Again, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. You know what's interesting also is she's looking right up to the king. The Three of Pentacles. You want someone where you can be your true, authentic self and be loved because of it. That's exactly what the Three of Pentacles means. It is a call to your authentic self. Some of you, I'm just looking at this guy behind her. And some of you, this could be someone who like has secretly admired you. But I don't feel like you know that. This also speaks to your creative mind. And I did feel for some, there's a chance that you may be collaborating with your future partner. If not, like having a business together. This celebrates your creativity, but so do they. And you do the same for them, by the way. I want someone who's going to love me for who I am. And this is saying, I will love every part of you, even the broken pieces. Okay. Well, these came out so quickly. So the king we're looking at now, the Knight of Swords. Hello, communication. With the Page of Pentacles. Huh. Some of you, this could be someone you know from like back in the day. And I don't feel like that's everyone. I'm just going to put a number to it. I feel like 20%. This is someone, for all of you, I definitely feel like the recognition of a soulmate. Feel that, no doubt. But for, let's say, 20%, you know each other in this lifetime already. And this is that, like, an example I can give, which I use all the time, is like if you're on Facebook and we know that you were previously committed, let's say it's complicated, and you change your status to single. Because it's like this emperor is paying attention. Look at that. Taurus is single now. Ring, ring. Hey, remember me? I do. Some of you may have gone to school together. I definitely I feel like both souls here chose this lifetime to learn a lot. It is like the energy of like the wise old soul. But the wise old soul, many times, I mean, this may be the last time the two of you choose to reincarnate. Of course, that is not for everyone, but I do feel that. And you may have had some very difficult lessons in this lifetime. But your soul asked for it. And I know people don't like it when I say that, but it's just the truth. Your soul came here to expand. And our soul expands through experience, through adventure, through love. Love that's gone wrong. And now, love that goes right. I feel like there's a lot of similarities. And even though I do not like to give signs, for some of you, it may be a fellow earth sign. Because I feel like like I feel for them also, they don't want just any old partner. They want someone who's stable. Not perfect, stable. Doesn't mean I don't have any broken pieces. Oh, I'll love those. I'll love those broken pieces. But I feel like, if I'm still tied to the past, then I feel like I don't feel like this king would want any part of it. And that may be why the clearing of the past was first, and the fool's energy. You're two wise old souls. And when I say old, I don't mean you're old in age, like years, but your soul is. Okay. Jeez. I'm thinking, is there anything else I need to ask? Well, let's ask potentially when. Can we know? And listen, as I say this, I already know that my spirit guides are going to say it's different for different people. And it really depends on where each person is at. Some are still in reflection. And again, it's not that you're late. It's don't even worry about that. Because when it's your time, it's your time. So, like, if you are still trying to figure out what do I stay or do I go, but in your soul that it's going to be the same old, and it doesn't seem good enough anymore. So, let's get back to the question. So, what can we know about the timing? Interesting, the star is in reverse. Almost like saying it's not in January. Wow, it all came in reverse. The King of Swords and the Fool. Okay, I feel like this is speaking to those who may still be back and forth with, I'm just going to say the devil, not literally the devil. I feel like what it's saying is until I put those intentions out there, because that is saying to divine, I am ready. But the fool's in reverse, the star is in reverse. And they both need to be flipped around. But the King of Swords is also in reverse. And let me tell you, the King of Swords in reverse, a liar. Does not have integrity. Upright, yes. Reversed, no. This is someone who will tell you what they think you want to hear just to pacify you, just to keep you from coming at them. That's not what you don't want to hear, lies. Okay, so I get that. And I feel like that this is speaking to those who are still in that do I go or do I stay? So now let's talk about the ones who've clearly made the decision. Let's just say to take on the fool's energy. They're prepared. and they're ready. The Empress. Interesting how everything's coming in reverse all of a sudden. But not the King. King of Pentacles again. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Eight of Wands in reverse. Holy cow. So the King of Pentacles is in the upright. The Empress is in reverse. The Empress, the counterpart to the Emperor. And the King of Pentacles right across from the Emperor. So they're the same. Okay, why is the Empress in reverse? Because I don't feel her in reverse. So why do I not feel her in reverse? And why is she in reverse? Or is it me? The Ten of Wands. All right, so the Empress may still be closing a chapter. The Empress is finding herself. And it came through some very difficult experiences. But if anybody can bounce back, it is the Empress. She just has to, and I feel like she has to realize she's the Empress. And what does that mean? That means that I don't have walls around me. It means that my intuition is my protector, and I know that. My intuition is my boundaries. And if anything of a lower vibration tries to cross it, well, the red flags will be thrown left and right. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm in a football game and all the coaches are throwing their challenge flags. Challenge. So I feel like what this is saying is when you realize that you are worth the highest form of love, then it shall be. Okay, but I'm not done. The High Priestess, but in reverse. Holy shit. So, your intuition. And the one thing the Empress believes in more than anything is her intuition, is in her spiritual team. The Empress is normally receiving downloads like spiritual clarity. Someone's hooks is making the Empress unsure of herself. Wow. Okay, I'm not going to leave it like that. I'm like, do I have my deck in the upright? And I do. So, I see all the reversals. I get what you're saying. Finally, upright. Well, hello, world. Okay, so this means to me, for some of you, you have to realize that something has come to completion or something is meant to come to completion. It makes me go back to the Ten of Wands, where that mountaintop is barren. It's dried up. There's nothing left there. I can't grow food. The soil's no good. There's no sun. You know what I mean? So it is the closing of a chapter, but the opening of the new one. And the world's energy, just look at her, first of all. She's in a Zen state. She's found her inner harmony. She's removing, he or she, that external noise, and she's listening to her true self. To me, the world talks about your spirituality and you walking hand in hand from this day forward. Oh my gosh. And then, hello, Ten of Pentacles. And I have to say, I'm a Virgo, and I would rather see the Ten of Pentacles than the Ten of Cups because I feel like the Ten of Pentacles has love just like the Ten of Cups. But I feel like what else this has is abundance. And I feel like the Ten of Pentacles talks about energy that's going to root forever. Now, you want to talk about, and by the way, even though the Empress is in reverse, how beautiful that we have the Emperor and the Empress, my power couple. The Empress is just quite not herself yet. She'll get there. I just know it. She'll get there. And it's simply tuning in and trusting her intuition and the instincts. Because the instinct is to go. And I feel like that's the right instinct. Here is stability. No wonder I didn't feel like you had to worry about someone coming in and having no money and, not that you're money hungry, but I agree with you. Like, I don't want to take care of someone financially if they're doing nothing. And I don't know why I'm taking a negative tone because this is very positive. This is what I've been asking for, positive energy, and here we go. So it's interesting because I feel like we can't get a definite answer because so much relies on your next step. But let's just say, as the reading spoke of, we opened it with the Fool, which means we now know past is the past. Even though for some of you, this king may be of the past, it's not this person. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. And I feel like that's also why the Emperor came up, to remind you that you do deserve someone who knows how to love. Well, it's not even knowing how to love. It's just, I put no restrictions. If I love you, I love you. And let's not forget about the lovers, the chemistry. Some of you, that's going to be a real clue. It may scare you for a second. And let's also not forget that for many of you, I feel like this is predestined. So it's opening in its perfect divine time. But here, I feel like it's more divine waiting on us without judgment. Just how Temperance asks us to have patience, or our guides have patience with us too. This is not something I feel you'll miss unless you choose to stay back here because you're making a choice, right? And that's free will, and your guides can't cross that. But the majority of you are in the Fool's energy, and it's just about taking that leap forward. And what's one of the first energies, really what's grounding this whole reading, is joy. a reason to celebrate. What does Mother Mary say? Blessings are coming your way from the highest. Nothing to fear here. I feel like some of you may say, like, I don't even know how to love in this way. Just be. Just be. Be you. Don't start with a mask. You don't need it. You don't need it. And because I feel like for many this is predestined, you can let go of the worry and just know it's going to be like the right time at the right place. And some of you, I'm telling you, your phone's going to ring or you're going to get a message out of the blue and it's going to shock you, but in the best of ways. It's like reaching across timelines and still activating that heart. Okay, I'm going to let this be. I'm going to let this be. But can I tell you, like, part of me doesn't want to let it be. And the reason why is because we have the Emperor and the Empress here. Because we have the lovers. Because I know what Spirit is trying to say. And it's hard to believe that there can be this type of love when all I've experienced is this lower vibrational love. Well, just keep this in mind. As you know better, you do better. As you want more, and you know you deserve more, as you seek it, you shall find it. But you have to be seeking it. And, as I sat down thinking, that sounds like pressure. That's not what I mean. I don't mean you have to be out looking for it. But put that wish out there because someone is picking up on it. And this someone is your person. And don't beat yourself up for having to kiss a lot of frogs. Because the kissing of those frogs is what ultimately leads you to your prince or princess or king or queen. My power couple with outrageous chemistry and love are coming together. I feel like celebrating. Like I feel like your guides right now, and they're saying they're coming together. They're coming together. I love you guys. I thank you. I could feel that some of you needed this reading, and this is why I did it. And I do ask my guys, like, what sign? Well, I don't say sign, but, I just say, who do you feel needs a little extra attention? And it was you. So here you go. I hope it helped. I hope it gets you excited for the potential of what can be. And the reason why I use the word potential is because of free will. Free will is going to determine whether you take that leap of faith or not. The blessings that Mother Mary spoke of, well, we know what they are now. All right, here I am still talking. I love you. I thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.